Greetings and salutations. It is I, Mr. Nothing, the museum curator of the weird and the strange and the host who might be a ghost. Welcome back to Around the Weird, a booktube channel where I talk about all the strange and unusual literature that I have found in my travels. I know that today is Poetry Thursday, a day where I talk about all the wonderful poetry in the world, but that will be saved for next week, especially because we're entering Halloween next week, and I do want to talk about more spooky themed poetry in the coming weeks. But today, I wanted to save this specific day for a little talk about Greek mythology. I wanted to talk specifically about the myth of Icarus. Now, for those that don't know, the myth of Icarus is about a young boy named Icarus as he tries to escape the labyrinth that held the Minotaur with his father. Wait, what? The bells again. What's going on?
Feeling overwhelmed? I can tell. Greetings and salutations. I'm the Brazen Bell.
Okay, so a challenge has been issued and the gauntlet has been thrown. The Brazen Bell has just resurfaced in time for Ocpoeber. Intriguing. Now, I'm no stranger to Poe. The Pit and the Pendulum, wonderful. The Mask of the Red Death, read it and loved it. The Raven, you know, a bit weird and not as strong as Poe's other works, but I do enjoy it from time to time. What I'm saying is, I am no stranger to Poe. However, I do see that the Brazen Bell has challenged me to a reading of the narrative of Arthur Gordon Pym of Nantucket, a book that I have never read before. Yes. It seems that the Brazen Bell knows my weakness and is going for the kill. I do not back down from a challenge, especially from somebody so heinous as the Brazen Bell. So if Lucas and the good doctor, Dr. Strike the Sun, if they want to turn to someone so nefarious and so malevolent to issue their challenges and serve them as they try to defend their booktube title, the Golden Shawl,
well then, I guess I, too, am going to have to get a little nefarious. I guess I'm going to have to become a little mad. Yes, with this challenge, there are still multiple unknowns. Brazen Bell, this requires a contract. You remember Socrates Jones?
Fascinating. Dissociative amnesia? I gotta learn more about that. Hey, didn't see you there, Mr. Nothing. The Brazen Bell, my friends. Let's get to the point. Who loses and who wins? We find out in this contract for the Ocpoeber challenge. The Brazen Bell set the terms for this 18th century fray. It's the most fitting for Poe, October, the 15th day. As for the book, in case you've been tardy, it's already been said by both parties. A story chosen not on impulse or a whim. It's the narrative of a sailor, Arthur Gordon Pym. The winner, should the other fall, can find themselves with a magnificent haul, bragging rights to tell one and all, and the championship scarf the Golden Shawl. My good friend, the Brazen Bell, let me welcome you to hell. In case I haven't made my answer abundantly clear, here it is for you. I accept your challenge. October 15th, I will be here to read the narrative of Arthur Gordon Pym of Nantucket, a book which I have already said I am unfamiliar with. But do not mistake my unfamiliarity as an easy victory on your road to claiming more victories for the Booktube Federation Championship. Have you any idea of the tragedy that lay before you? It is so fitting that I wanted to talk about Icarus today. Some would even say coincidental. You remember the myth of Icarus, I'm sure, but let me remind you. Young Icarus was determined to escape the labyrinth with his father. Daedalus fashioned him a pair of waxen wings and told him not to fly too high or too low because that could damage his flying ability. Of course, once Icarus got out of the labyrinth, he soared to fortunes unknown. However, he did not heed his father's warning. He flew too close to the sun, and he plummeted back to Earth. Very unfortunate. My point here, Mr. Bell, is that you are Icarus. You have soared high and mighty in your time as Booktube Federation Champion, reading such classics. You got your Stephen Kings and your Virginia Woolfs and your 3 body problems. But you are about to plummet deep and far into a sea of despair, and it's all thanks to your hubris. The cost of this hubris is not your life like poor Icarus, but rather something you hold near and dear, a trophy that I've come to claim. I hope that Lucas and Dr. Strike the Sun, in addition to you, have time to say goodbye, because come October 15th, the golden shawl around your shoulders will belong to none other than me, Mr. Nothing, the museum curator of the weird and the strange and the host who's gonna kick your butt.